where Baba came and said, let me tell you that the country is greater than all of us. Kuna wengine who vehemently refused and wanted chaos to continue. Now if you time, we'll say it in detail. We'll even report verbatim what was said. And that is why it is important. I even see some of my colleagues ambayo wanaongea mambo ati tuache na history. You will never be able to understand your present if you don't appreciate your history. So we learn from our history to understand our present and plan into the future. So now my final sentiments. If you ever have ambitions of coming back to lead this country, then let us vote for Baba so he clears the way that all of us in the future will have an opportunity to be in the helm of leadership. Now rudia your statement. Na kama hamujui ende mupime, mimi naota, even mimi I dream. Siku moja nikuwe rais. Na hiyo ndoto. And I know some people in this room wako na hiyo ndoto. But if you do not make the right decision today, at this moment, my friend, amua ubaki ama usahau ndoto. Mungu awabariki.
Let's give our Governor of Mombasa a bigger clap. Asante sana. At this juncture, I want to invite the chairman of Council of Governors within the region of the Gema Nation, His Excellency Francis Kimemia, who will invite the chairman of the Council of Governors and then invite our chief guest. Thank you. Karibu, Karibu Governor. 2 minutes. I think the executive gave the summary of all we want to talk about today. Silvio. Yes. Thank you.
Asante. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, and all the protocols of staff. Nanyi ambao tuko hapa, amjamboni jioni ya leo. Saimeni hivi kama mnaniona. Asante. God is good, and all the time we want to support what has been led by Minister Munya. We want to support that resolution tunakubaliana naye kabisa, na pia we want to support the handshake and also azimio la umoja ambalo baba ameanzisha, and we shall be more than almost that two governors tulikuwa pamoja na Baba Raila Amolo Odinga pale Kasarani tukisupport hili azimio. Tumekuwa na magavana kwa sababu mambo mengi imeongewa. Sisi kama that one tuko katika nyumba na baba. Nani mwingine anaweza kuchukua hii serikali kweli? Hakuna mwingine. So lazima tuwe ndani ya serikali, kama jamii la Mount Kenya region, and we shall go with Baba all the way. I want to support the issue of bringing communities. Tulete communities zote pamoja, ile ambayo imesema hapa na chama na Mount Kenya Foundation. Tulete jamii zote tuwe kitu kimoja. Wakati baba alitembea pale Nyandarua na Laikipia mahali pengine pote, kuna kitu ambacho alifanya ambacho kilifurahisha wananchi sana kule mashinani. Na mkiangalia graph ya baba inaenda juu na ile ambayo wanadanganyana inaenda wapi? Chini. Just look at the graphs. Wale ambao wanafanya scientific, you know research. But graph yake inaenda juu, na ni kwa nini? And I want to finish. When he came to Nyandarua, for instance, he talked about potatoes. He talked about mambo ya perefa. He talked about cabbage, maziwa. He talked about power. Kuna stima huku, mambo ya maji, mambo ya barabara kwa mbaya, mambo ya vijana wetu ambao wanataka ajira. So he has Azimio, we need to demystify it and bring it down to, we devolve it to mashinani. But tukimaliza mambo ya Friday, sasa tuingie pale mashinani, tunaweza kuongea hapa, tuongee matowns, but we must now also go to the grassroots and be able to support baba kuendesha filosofia yetu ya Azimio, ili pia hata wananchi wenyewe waanze kusema kwamba, wananchi wa Nyandarua walisema kwamba yes, kama Azimio ni kuangalia barabara zetu, maji yetu, stima yetu, na kwa vile vijana wetu wapate ajira, na kuona kwamba watu wetu watakuwa na amani na security, na mambo ya tax itakuwa imeangaliwa, wakasema yes, to support baba. And I want to appreciate the trips we have made from the moment we left pale Laikipia, tukatembea na baba safari ya kwanza kuja mpaka hapa Nyandarua. And you can see the euphoria and the excitement ambazo imefuata mpaka wakati aitembea hapo. So I want to end my statement there kwa sababu ya in the interest of time, mambo mengi imesemwa kabla sijamwita chairman wetu wa Council of Governance. Kama tumekubaliana na governors wengine kwamba atasema tu jina alafu akae chini. Kwa hivyo kuja hapa Nyoro na Kinyanjui useme kila mtu jina alafu tukae chini, hatutaongea hata kidogo. Asanteni sana, thank you very much. Kujeni tuanze na bwana Nyoro, tupige makofi akija. So no statement, hakuna speech, ni takuja tu alafu aseme jina tena tukae chini.
Hamjambo. Hamjambo. Hebu fanya hivi. Sema Azimio na Umoja kutoka hapa mpaka Kasarani. Asante sana. Yule anaongea ni James Nyoro. Asante sana.
Asante sana, Right Honorable Prime Minister, my fellow colleague governors, our CSs na nyote ambao mmefika hapa kwa sababu ya Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe. Asante. We had agreed that Kimemia would speak on behalf of us, but now that we are here, allow me just to say two issues. One, that we have accompanied Baba in a few of his trips around the country. And I think where we were in August is not where we are today. Do we agree that? And maybe what we would want to emphasize is that those of us who have not been with him before are learning a lot. They are very good in the campaigns, and us, we are very good in making sure things happen. When the two teams combine, we can only win this election. So I urge all of us, wherever we are, those of us who are campaigning back in the constituency and the counties, to try and work together and make sure that we deliver the seat as we have promised. Lastly, normally when you're running a campaign such as this, when you win with the team that you are with. If you're with good people, you form the government with good. If you're with others, you form the government with. So I want to say the people I have seen around Baba are people who can form a credible government. I have seen people who can run an economy, people who can run agriculture, people who will support farmers to produce more instead of importing fertilizer and maize to make quick money. That is the solution we want for this country. So I want to say we support you, Baba. And just an illustration, one day I was going to campaign in my county, and I was late to go to a certain section of the county. So when I went a bit late, one of the mzee from the Maasai community told me, umechelewa, sisi tuko na mimba ya mtu ingine. Nataka kusema the region of Mount Kenya iko na nini? Asante.
Asante, na pia tuko na apologies ya magavana wengine, tuko 8. Hata wawili tunajaribu kurudisha nyumbani, lakini tuko 8 ambao wamesema nilete apologies zao from Kiraitu to kule Tharaka Nithi, Meru na region yote wawili tu, lakini niachieni hawa. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you very much. Before I call the chair of the Council of Governors to invite our chief guest, I want to ask the chairman of Mount Kenya Foundation, C.S. Munya, and the to come. First of all, let's adopt the communique which was read by C.S. Munya as adopted or resolved in this congregation. Do we adopt it? Yes. Can I hear it unanimously? Yes. So let me have the chairman of Mount Kenya Foundation, the chair of the executive committee, and the leader of the majority in Parliament to sign this communique on our behalf so that it becomes formal. Karibuni. That makes it a document of the people of Mount Kenya. And this is a covenant that we are going to enter with the leader of Azimio la Umoja on Friday. All right. Gender, let's have who? Sabina, come forward and decide. Sabina, the chairman of Council of Governors to sign, the youth leader, the one who talked on our behalf, let them also sign, so that we all own that document. I'm told one of the Council of Elders, yes, please, Washida Kiago, come and sign also. Washida Kiago or Amikago or Waiduma Waisi, come. This, as we say, is a covenant which we have developed to take to Azimio, and that's what will bind us with the leadership of Azimio. So it is very significant. This document is adopted by everybody.
This keyboard is working. So the keyboard is okay.
And then after everybody has signed, we want somebody to take to our bishop, Emmanuel, to sign as the chair of the whole Ngema nation. We need to have a religious leader, Canon Karanja. Where is Canon? Come and also bless the document. Please do sign and then take it to your bishop, Bishop Emeritus, and then let him sign.
You can switch off this one. Yeah?
Na tuko na Makarina hapa, who is their PWD, people living with disabilities. Wako wapi? We also want their signature. Canon, once you sign, take it to can you sign it there, weka sahihi. Iko hapo kwa bishop. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. Hata diaspora wanasema lazima weke sahihi pia. Please give me the document. Governor Wambora, please do come and invite our guest because he's pressed by time. Just say.
Okay, asante sana. Let's be in order to endelea for the final episode for our guest of honor. Your Excellency, the Prime Minister, Baba, our chairman of Gema, Bishop Imadio, our chairman of Mount Kenya Foundation, and your leadership, my fellow governors, CSs, PSs, and all the leaders and MPs. Mine is a very simple task to welcome Baba, maybe at Ogereshe, but because I'm representing for the 7 governors, may I just say 1 or 2 things, very briefly within the 1 or 2 minutes. And one of them is to thank the former Prime Minister for your surprise visit. Most of us did not know you'd appear here. We feel very honored by that surprise. Be blessed, Prime Minister, be blessed, our favorite President. Number 2, I want to very quickly say that I want to assure you of our support from the counties. We have listened to you as we went around the country, and we have bought Yasmio La Umoja. We did that, and we are going to show it on Friday that we shall support completely. Number 2, may I also mention that if there's a leader who is living in Kenya today, other than the Kinadera, Kimathi and other generals, you are the one who has sacrificed most in this country of all the politicians who are living today. You have suffered because you love your people, and your people will reward you this time around. I want to confirm that this indeed is the Raila moment. This is your moment, just like that of President of South Africa. Finally, I want to say that as I finish, that your handshake brought total peace. Your handshake with your brother president brought total peace in this country. And we want that peace to continue. So that's one reason why we are going to vote for you, because you have initiated that peace and we know it will prevail. Now, my colleague C.S. Munya has put it very well. All what you supported in the BPI actually benefits Mount Kenya very well, because it brings fairness to us. 1 man, 1 vote, 1 share. All that and many more. Representation in Parliament, representation in the Senate and in the assemblies. Once this is revisited, because you promised you will revisit BPI, it will happen. So, with that, I want to say it's my now honor to ask you to be upstanding. We welcome Papa na makofi mara moja. 1, 2, 3. Karibu.
Thank you very much. After the right honorable speaks, we'll just briefly stand here for a photo, a few groups, so which I will invite briefly. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Karibu.
Asante sana. Asanteni sana. Haya. Nani wamelima mrega? Mrega rengi. Mutani yaragosho. Ameru mugeni. Ayembu muriaro. Asanteni sana.
Me, actually, it did not get crushed. But then the vice chair, Mr. Ibui, is the one who told me that we are going to be having luncheon here today to brainstorm and ask if I would just come in and say jambo. And that's why I've come. And I was accompanied by my deputy, 001, the governor of Mombasa. I have here Senator James Orengo, who is a minority leader in the Senate. We have down there Dr. Nikal, who is the chairman of Dual. Then I have Secretary General, Mr. Sifuna. The MP for Saboti, Mr. Amisi, there. We have also the MP for Suna East, Honorable Junaid Mohammed. I have their Executive Director, Mr. Ngwen. I'm also a former Member of Parliament for Game, Mr. Joe Dondi. And that's the team that has come with me. Morocco will be there. Vijana mpaka wali wawei. Nilikuwa nafikiri wewe ni mwalimu kumbe. Yes. But we are very happy to join our colleagues from the mountain and just to listen as you guys are talking. We have had opportunity to run around the country. Since we discussed with my brother, we had a very long discussion, as I explained to you last time. And we decided that we can take this country back to where it started, when our people were all united. You know, the British, in the pursuit of their policy of divide and rule, are the ones who planted this seed of ethnicity in our country. You know, somebody mentioned about the struggle. Started, I think it was Pius. He talked about the struggle first. Wayaki Wahinga was buried alive in Savo. Then Hari Duku in the early 20s and was taken to Kismayu. And then came the period of the Mau Mau, when the people rose to resist, and the Kapenguria Sikhs. Then something happened here in Nairobi. Most people have never appreciated because it has not been properly treated. In 1954, a councillor called Ambrose Ofafa, he was then the Secretary General of Lui Union Nairobi branch, was assassinated here in Nairobi. And the British came up with a story that he had been killed by the Mau Mau, basically to unleash a war between the Luos and Kikuyus. At that time, Kikuyus had been removed from the estates in town here, and not many of them were here. And the Luos actually were ganging up to begin to fight the Kikuyus who were around. Jaramogi was then the Keri for Lui Union, traveled from Kisumu by train to Nairobi, and then got him at a meeting with these leaders and told them, this is the work of the colonialists who want to create a seed of division between the Luos and the Kikuyus. And because of that, they actually stopped what would have been a bloodshed between the two communities at that time. Then, at that time, Kenyatta and co were in prison. Kenyatta was known as the leader to darkness and death. Nobody was even allowed to mention Kenyatta's name. The Mau Maus were languishing in detentions all over the place. In Manyani, in Hola, on those islands I've been telling you about. Mageta Island, another one called Oyamo, and Sinyanya. They were languishing. Then now came the period after the Lidstone reforms, when now Africans were now in parliament. Then Kenyatta had to go where they were being detained. If you go there, you can't even believe. A place called Kitang in Sokana, remote place. That's where they were hewing stones, because they had been sentenced to 7 years hard labor. Thereafter, indefinite detention. They wrote a letter smuggled from the prison saying that they were being held in inhuman conditions. That letter was sent to the colonial office. When the British government got that letter, it was leaked into the media. It came out in the Times of London, The Guardian. Then the governor issued a statement saying that there are no political detainees in Kenya, no political prisoners in Kenya. The ones we have here are convicted criminals who have been tried and subjected to and sentenced to imprisonment. Then there was the Hola massacre. Then now the members moved a motion in parliament. Tom Mboya was the one who moved it, and saying that we need the government to look into conditions of imprisonment of this Mau Mau, Kenyatta and co. But then at that time, the colonial government, of course, was denying. Then Jaramogi issued that statement in Parliament. And that is what triggered off the unity of the people of Kenya. So now people of Kenya became united in fight for independence of our country. Ultimately, Kenyatta was released. But before that, when they saw the wave coming, they went to Jaramogi and said, you know, Kenyatta is senile, leader unto death and death. You are actually qualified to become the Prime Minister. Jaramogi said, no, Kenyatta is our leader. I cannot betray the cause of our people. So people were united. There was nothing like, this is a Kikuyu, this is a Jaluo, this is a Mkamba. I'm telling you because I grew up under these conditions. If you, Jaramogi will say that Kenyatta is only second to God for us. And I've seen Kenyatta sleep there, Jaramogi sleep there when he came out of prison. When did the rain begin to beat us? That was the question we asked. And I've told the people recently when I was in Nyeri, I explained to you where the rain began to beat us. But now we said, me and Uhuru, that we can actually bring this country together. If you stand there and I stand here, you can bring this country back to where we started. Because without that unity, we cannot realize the dreams of the founding fathers of our nation. We cannot realize the Kenyan dream, which says, Lord, bless this land of ours. Justice be our shield and defender. May we dwell in unity, peace and liberty, plenty be found in our borders. May we dwell in unity, peace and liberty. Unity means what? There's no discrimination on the basis of ethnicity, religion, gender, otherwise. But that has not been there. So we said, let us bring the people together. And that really is the meaning of Azimio la Umoja. that nobody, every person here is a Kenyan and is equal. Whether he's a Muslim, he's a Christian, Catholic, Methodist, Anglican, Hindu, a woman, everybody is equal in our country. This is the kind of country that we want to build. We want to share. Talk to me because we wanted to talk to our people again and realize what people are thinking. And they will be told what people said on Friday, what the people of Nyanza said, the people of Western said, the Ma, what they said, what the coastal said, the people of Northeastern, people of Turkana, the people of Rift Valley, the Calais, in Eldoret, what the people said in Isiolo, in Meru, Embu, and Tharaka-Nithi, in Ukambani, in Pokot, and finally in the mountain. Last week we were in the mountain, Mount Kenya West. We spent the night there in Nyeri, and they were so much well received. I want to single out one of you here, the old man, Mashira Kago. He's somewhere there, Abdul Mlio Mzee, were Council of Elders. He came with Wazees and Mamas to Bondo that time. And his words were like these words of a prophet. He said, tutakuwa pamoja. Baadaye wakatualika tuende mlimani. So last Friday tulikuwa mlimani. Wamama wa mlima, mama wa ziwa huko walikutana. Wakabeba samaki kutoka ziwa huko kaleta huko mlimani. Na Mama Aida wakampatia jina Nyawira. Sasa mimi nalala hapa na Nyawira nalala hapa. Tuko pamoja. Sisi vile ni mdhoniwa. Juni alikuwa hapa ametoka. Bibi yake inatoka huko Murang'a, kutoka Chuki. Na Fidel alioa hapa Kiambu. Kasi mimi ni mdhoniwa. Hii tunasema tu gari itagu ni mudu na mdhoniwa. Tumekuja, tuko pamoja kwa hii, tunataka tuunganishe Wakenya wote wawe kama kitu kimoja, wote wa mlima na Wakenya wote. Sio tunataka kubagua mtu yoyote, hakuna. Everybody will be welcome. Jana jioni nilikuwa na wafanyabiashara kutoka mlimani, kiongozwa na Bwana Richard Ngati. Nikawaambia mambo ya biashara, the private sector. How we want to promote the private sector as the engine for growth in our country. People all the time talk about employment in the public sector. Watu wetu wataajiriwa namna gani hapa na pale pale. I tell them public sector only employs at best 700,000 people. In national government and in the counties, the police force, the military. And those positions are occupied, they're not vacant. Vacancies only occur through retirement and death, attrition. And that is just about 10%. 10% of 700,000, 70,000. Those are the only vacancies available every year in public sector. But from our school system, primary, secondary, tertiary, universities, we churn into the labor market every year 1 million people looking for jobs. 1 million people against vacancies of 70,000. It's peanuts. The solution is the private sector. In developed economies, people don't go and knock at the government that you employ me here. It's much more prestigious to be working in America for General Motors, working for Boeing, Microsoft, than at a secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or Ministry of Health. They are an executive in GM. That is what we want to do. We want to create those funds here. And we challenge our people. Create an enabling environment for our economy to grow and our people to become more enterprising. We have people who can be equivalent to Henry Ford here, Mr. Toyota, who's a bicycle repair. We have people who can be Mr. Hilton here. It's only the opportunities and enabling environment which has been missing. And they had started during the past regime, and an infant middle class, bourgeois class was emerging, the national bourgeois, by 1978. But immediately, Hussein left, those who took over began to fight that emerging class instead of promoting it. Then they created what you call Comprado. Comprado were just commission agents, briefcase businessmen, running around at hii wanataka license gani hii, mimi ndio najua fulani, bwana najua fulani, toa kitu. So ikaanza hii mambo ya toa kitu kidogo, TKK. Na polisi wanafuata, toa kitu kidogo, TKK. Baadaye kapanda, toa kitu kikubwa, TKK. Mwisho kaenda, toa kila kitu. Bado ni TKK. Bado ni TKK, sio? Sasa, we must change that. That people earn, give people opportunity to earn a living genuinely. And we can do it. We can challenge our people to earn a living genuinely. I don't go into the public sector to become rich. Public sector is where people go for service. If you want to become rich, go into the private sector and make money there. If you go to the public sector and you want to become rich, you can only become rich there through corruption. Ati hii contract pesa ngapi? Basi wewe utatoa ngapi? Hii namna hii. When I chased those cowboy contractors from the road sector, when I went there and cleaned it up, then they came back again. So we can clean the public sector that it is offering services to us. What is actually scaring away our investors in this country? Number one is the high cost of infrastructure, particularly energy. 14 cents US cents against 3 or 4 cents in Egypt. Number one. Number two is bureaucracy. Too much bureaucracy. A letter has been written to an office. Somebody reads it and marks it. It goes to the registry, permanent secretary, mark it to an officer. It goes to the registry, takes 2 days before it goes to another officer. He again marks another officer, go back to registry, again to another one. A month is passing, no action has been taken. Somebody has written a letter, is waiting for a reply. There's no reply. Amazon was telling me the other day, I've been told to go back and come again in 3 months' time. And I'm coming from LA, Los Angeles. Do these people know where LA is? And then the third time I'm coming, somebody wants to invest in Kenya, and he comes here 3 times from LA, and each time he's told to come back again. Bureaucracy. The other one is corruption, which is also the major cause of scaring people away. So every time all these things here, there's no reason why this country cannot grow. When they came there, mountain, they talk of agriculture. And me and Munya have had a long discussions. The reforms that is now carrying out there. If me and the president have discussions, and we also talk to him, the sector, the team, and last week I met the guy who had threatened to cut off remove his tea plantation. He told me why. Coffee, pyrethrum, avocado, rice, yams, vegetables, potatoes, and so on, you name it, down there. It is rich, and you only need to have proper policies to be able to ensure that farmers are happy in the region. Is infrastructure? I know because I was building several roads. I'm the one who planned most of these highways, all the bypasses in Nairobi, where I was building houses, the bigger highway, me, even the Canal Marua was designed in my time. It's now been constructed now. And I saw what Uhuru has done in the period that he has been a president. Recently, he gave his scorecard and told people, some of you will only begin to know what Uhuru did when he is no longer in office. Because what they say that a saint is not recognized at home. The Jews did not know what Jesus was. Only foreigners now know what Jesus was. So Uhuru has his mind in the right place. He has been focused, but he has not been able to achieve what he wanted to achieve because of the environment under which he has been working. That itself has undermined his ability to deliver. He would have done much better if he had supportive environment. But now we must pick from here and move forward to ensure that there is continuity and do better than been done. So I just want to conclude by thanking you for what you guys are doing here, tell you that we are together with you, but I'm not going to respond to the requests until Friday. On Friday, mimi nitatoa jawabu. Asante sana.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Now we do a quick photo shot, and I want to start with the Mount Kenya Foundation Board of Directors. Please come quickly, you line up there. Somebody can help us to get hii kitu kutoka hapo.
Now, this, and then your mic, and then the mic,
with our chairman of GCA.
Now, Niko pale chini bro. Niko pale chini. Nimeweka pale. This software. Yes.
Thank you very much. I think a short time. Okay, let's have the photo shot. Thank you very much. The next will be the members of Parliament of Mount Kenya who are here. the elected leaders, the members of the Senate, members of National Assembly, karibuni. Thank you very much. Balance yourselves. Thank you. The next will go to the executive. We want the executive here, please. Come over. The executive. Okay. Okay, these are the speakers of the county assembly. I wanted to call you with the governor, but it's fine. The executive, please do come. The executive, please. No, jenga ngoja kidogo. Let's have the ladies also. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's have the governors and the deputy governors, tafadhali. Let's have order, please. The CASs are part and parcel. No, you know, if you don't listen. Okay. All right, the youth. Okay. Very good. Asanteni sana, asanteni. Asanteni. The governors, deputy governors, the speakers of the county assemblies, tafadhali. Okay, nasikia wako hapa Nairobi MCAs. Sawa.
Lakini ni azimio nataka kupatia pesa chako sababu ni azimio. Ingekuwa tangatanga ndani ruto kona. Kama unasema
asanteni sana. These are the MCAs of the county of Nairobi. Thank you so much for the support. Tuko pamoja. Right, sawa. Yeah. Okay. Now we want to have the governors. Please, Tosha. Tafadhali. No. Let's have order, please. Let's have order. Let's have order. Governors, thank you so much. You can have your selfie as he walks out. Please don't go before we have our final prayers. We want to have our final prayers. Thank you very much. We also have the aspirants come.